Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with some discounts that have caught my eye recently. All prices are correct at the time of me making this video, and all of them are linked down below in the description and pinned comment. As always, these choices are based on prices, not necessarily the quality of the game. There are many different kinds of collectors out there, and I can't cater to just one, so let's see what I've seen. Starting with VGP, who have free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, about 55 American dollars. Lies of P, or as I always want to say, Life of Pi, it is 28 bucks on PlayStation 4, which is a decent price for a brand new copy, and this could be one for those who were interested in the game after its Switch 2 announcement but wouldn't want the price tag to go alongside that fat Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge. A lot of people are on a budget these days. This is often considered to be one of the best bigger budget Souls-like games out there, and even me, who's not really interested in the genre, I think it looks pretty swell. Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness, another PlayStation 4 title, but I saw this restock at VGP and they have it for $21 which I think is a good price. Now the series isn't Square's best JRPG franchise, but it's got a cult following, and I heard this one is a nice breezy time. If you're not looking to lose 60 hours of your precious free time, then how about 20? Because that is how long the story is for this one. Sometimes they are just as good as the epics. It's the same length as Chrono Trigger. Animal Well recently got a restock on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 at VGP, and as a celebration, they decided to give it a small discount, which is nice, because they really didn't need to. This sells well regardless. This is the Lost in Cult version, not limited runs, and it is a hugely popular indie game. I made like 5 videos on this game at any time VGP got restocks of the limited run version prior to this wider retail release, and people ate it up. If you somehow do not own it already, well, maybe now is a good time to grab it. Thank goodness you're here, and The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Same thing for these really. These aren't quite as popular as Animal Well, but they are still 2 Lost in Cult titles from their first wave of releases. Again, recently restocked and put on a small but welcome discount. $32 each. Very good, very quirky games, especially if you like adventure stuff. You'll find both humor and intrigue between these two, and they will complement each other pretty well. Feardemic Horror Bundle. This is discounted to $28 each on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, and that is a good price for 3 pretty decently received horror games. I know it's published by GS2 Games, or is it G2S Games? I always forget. They mostly do shovelware titles, but the games included here are decently received, so if you want a bit of adventure horror, maybe look into this. UFO Robot Grendizer, The Feast of the Wolves, is a badass name, and it is a really solid price for what is a solid title, especially if you're into the franchise. I've heard people say they surprisingly enjoyed this one, despite the Microids name on the box. That was when they were going through a rough patch, but this seems like a good option if you're looking for something a bit different. And who knows, if you've never heard of the franchise until this game, like myself, you might come out as a fan, and it's only $28. Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. This is down to $36 at VGP, which is not the cheapest it's been before. I think it was like $20 or was it $25 at Play Asia when they decided to clear it out or something like that. So it is not the biggest bargain it's ever been, but if you missed out on that sort of, early bird deal and you want a second tier bargain, then $35 is not bad considering the base price for it. And this import exclusive will also be something super unique to add to your collection. It's Monster Rancher, where you create monsters with music CDs, although because there's no CD player on the Switch, it's done via a database, which is slightly less interesting, but still kinda unique. And then you train them, and then fight them, and it just so happens to have Kaiju in it. Alright, moving on to PNP games, just a few things that have caught my eye over there. Looney Tunes, Wacky World of Sports, $15 for this, which is a really cheap price. VGP have it discounted too, but not even close to $15. I wouldn't expect too much from this game, but since I first saw the trailer, I thought, you know what, it looks pretty good for the type of game that it's going to be. I don't know if it is good, but I hope it is. And maybe $15 is a cheap enough price for a punt. Labyrinth of Zangetsu. Ah, the classic. Yes, this is featured heavily over the years in my discounts video, but it's been a while since it's been this cheap. 15 bucks is a really good price for a very stylish first-person dungeon crawling RPG. Radiant Silvergun. This is a limited runs version that they somehow have discounted to $36. Despite this being the limited run version, it did get a worldwide release. Even then, it's still a good price in my opinion. It is a classic shmup, one of the best on the Saturn. I don't know how to play it properly, but that doesn't stop me from enjoying it immensely. Before I move on to Play Asia, if you are new here and you enjoy physical video games, you enjoy owning the things you pay money for, hit that subscribe button. It will be the best thing you do today. Not only do I do discounts videos, but I also tell you the new announcements, reprints of rare games or restocks. I give you opinions, everything you need as a physical gamer. Plus I'm almost at 40k. Almost, come on guys. Alright, Play Asia, you can try, I'm going to stress that, try and get 5% off your Play Asia order if you click my link and use my discount code Jordan2026. When it comes to discounted games, sometimes it can be extra finicky, so best of luck. Montezuma's Revenge. Okay, it looks rubbish. It is one of the worst Play Asia exclusives they've had. In fact, it probably is the worst, but if you are a Switch collector and you didn't bite the bullet on this and you want all the English cover physicals, well, having it down to 16 bucks is definitely less painful than it originally was. The limited edition is also discounted, but to $26. Capcom Belt Action, best price, $16 for the budget price version of this early Capcom collection. It's definitely a bit more meager compared to some of the later ones they've done on the Switch, but this import exclusive Belt Action collection is belting. Great game after great game, including one that previously never released on home consoles until now. A great price if you don't mind the best price labeling on the box art. It's not the prettiest it's ever been, but it's cheap. Kanon. Okay, the discount is quite small, but I'm putting it in just because I'm amazed it's back in stock. Who knew? And this is the one with English on the cartridge. At least that's what the box art implies. This released earlier in Japan without English, but then not too long ago they did a reprint of it which included English. The first time this visual novel has ever had English. And after that announcement, it really was not easy to get a hold of, but now Play Asia have it in stock for $32, which is a great price for a legendary and influential visual novel. Now in English, finally, after all these years. Digimon World Next Order. Now, while this did get a release in both Europe and North America, if you want to buy those, you're looking at nuts pricing for Europe and absolutely insane pricing for North America. It is one of the most expensive Switch games to get. If you have a North American sealed copy of this game, well, you might be able to buy a house. Well, okay, maybe not. I did ask VGP if they could do a reprint of this, and they said they would look into it, but they wouldn't be too hopeful about Bandai saying yes. But either way, if you just want the game, you don't care about the region, Play Asia have the Japanese release, which plays in English for $28, which is much better than $500. I think you will agree. Stonefly is a European exclusive physical release, meaning some of you North Americans out there may not be aware of its existence. But pay attention, it is a well-regarded action-adventure game. It's labeled as an RPG. I'm not sure I would agree with that, but you play as a mech bug fighting other bugs. You also spend a lot of time gliding around, so something unique, and at $22, maybe North Americans will want to take a look at, maybe importing it. Stories from Seoul, the Gundog. I love saying that. While this did get a Switch release in Europe, North America only got a PlayStation 5 physical. Why? Who knows, but if you're looking for a cheap way to pick up this fascinating looking game, then perhaps pick up the Japanese edition on Nintendo Switch, which plays in English and comes with some small extra goodies for just $22. Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. I should mention that Play Asia also have this game discounted for the same price as VGP, which may or may not work in your favor as to, what's the better situation for you. I thought I should just mention it just in case. And there we have some discounts that have caught my eye. If you want to purchase any of them, please do so via the links in the description and pinned comment. Any purchase made via a link helps support me and this channel in the best way possible. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you all have a fantastic, wonderful day. Take care.